All right, ladies and gentlemen, and it seems like we are live. So this is the beginning of a Saturday stream here, and we need to do the snapshot for the beginning of the video. Yeah, yeah, that's the snapshot. Okay, so today we're then going to be continuing on this mad project here to build a rig builder in Maya to create a facial rig or something, or any other option of rigs. As long as we have it coded, it's going to execute the methods in order and you're going to get always the same results, right? So let me increase the size of the script here, of our font, and keep going. So the last time I stopped working on the stream, I was finishing some data management on this on the project setting, and now we are in another state. So I guess we already changed them. So, oh, by the way, I'm still on the front camera here. Hello. Let's get started. So now I can see your comments here. If you ever want to comment anything, I'm gonna jump into this view here, which I can evaluate. So this is the work canvas. You can see my head here in the corner. Let's keep moving. All right, so it's Sunday. I don't know how many people are actually alive today. Most people are just on suspended reality today. A little coffee. Yeah, this is just a break that I have here. Today we've been doing a lot of stuff for family and home, but if you find half an hour, might as well just continue on the project. So what you can see here is that last time then we were adding all of these folders here into the project folder, right? So I believe that we are in this project here. And what we can see is that this is being added right now. So if we want to access geometry, for example, and we want to access the model geometry, now we have this head model inside of the model geometry. And we're going to also have some template geometry that's going to be added so that we can see so just that we can see some progress, right? Some real progress, meaning that the head is actually being imported and that we have something in the scene. This way we can start to feel like things are happening and maybe get some energy out of it. I know, as I always say, like, this is not the most exciting type of content out there. It's coding. At the end of the day, I can do backflips here, but at the end of the day, I'm just coding some RigBuilder UI. So yeah, we're doing as best as you can to, keep the show, keep it a show, but it's just what it is. So yeah, it is right now. It is building. So if we delete everything in the scene, for example, and run it again, you can see that it's being imported, and then it's just running everything. It's checking all the folders that we had specified before. So it's here are the folders that the system needs to check, and now the project is checking the project as well. So no missing directories, meaning that it checked all of the directories that we have specified, and then it just asserted that it is all good to and good to proceed. Uh, yeah, no methods, no directories were created. Create new scene, it's created, method done, start setup rig done, and then it's importing all of our geometry. So the point of which in which it is importing the geometry is this part here. So import geo, but we also need our template geo to be imported, maybe even earlier than the model geo, just because we will need to derive the skeleton from that. So if we are importing the skeleton and we need to make adjustments to the skeleton, I am assuming that we need to have this geo, which is a template geo, before the actual geometry is being imported. So let's go and let's get that done. So we are going to then get back here into our scene. And first of all, I'm just going to set up the project to the project of the Hooking Phoenix. And there we're going to be opening the scene that contains that. So two things. Right now we're going to test. We're going to test this as is, but I do have the full. Let's take it one step at a time because I'm talking things that I know, but anyone watching doesn't know. So let's just open here first. Pretty sunny day here in Vancouver today. Not the summer is it's very particular about the weather, but the winter and the spring it's kind of like rainy all the time. So anytime we have some good sunny day with warm temperatures, it's just a blast, man. And okay, so here we can see the school geometry, which is not even it still is. Uh, in symmetry. So this needs to go as well. The symmetry must be adjusted to the each character. So the system that we built for the muscle strips or the muscle systems, they are using positions on the skull mesh and on the surface here on this surface. It's going to import both of these geometries and it using the positions from specific vertex that we have already set prior to this. It's going to find these positions and place the muscle there. So that's why we need this geometry. So this one and this one, and we also have the the jawbone. Sorry, and with that, we then have most of the information for building the muscles as we need. But this then needs to be exported and probably needs to be brought in a single file. Another thing that I would like to see with template is if I still have the geometry for the neck. Because I do need the yeah, so you can see that I have the template information. This is the joints that it uses to create the neck system, and that's what we are going to be. This is what we need to have happening. So I'm just checking here if I still have the any of the geometry. There's a bunch of systems here. Yeah, so this is an older project. As I said, this is a type of stream where I'm literally working and getting through this because it's just so much more. I'm just so much more focused that it's even though it's messy, it's worth it because I could be watching YouTube, I could be listening to podcasts, but I'm here working today. So this is the neck. This is not what we're looking for. Maybe the backup geo. Yeah, there is a skeleton geo group here. Maybe that's where we're going to find this. Where's this though? So you can see that prior to this stream, I was working on. So this is the original model that I have here, and this is what I was working on, basically on a one of a kind approach where I was basically bringing things in and rigging it manually. So now we got to a point where we just need to have it being replicated or replicatable. It's funny, like it's not here. Oh, I know what it is. Boom, now we got it. Okay, so is it this? Yeah, okay, so yeah, we do. As you can see, it's not too bad, right? It's hello Deepak, welcome. Glad to see some people back here. So let's see if it works. Boom, it works. Yeah, Deepak Rajan is saying hello, and I'm gonna say hello back. Look at that. Hello, hello Deepak. Welcome. Yeah, it works. Look at that. My God. So we're going to be looking at this guy here. So this we need from this model we need the neck. We already have the skull in place. We already have the jaw in place. So now we need to separate this and send it to its own file. We're going to be then able to re-import every time that we are running this build script. So also this is so from that then what I could be doing is either using the vertex information on this spine to position the neck joints, and that's already going to give us a ready-made skeleton joint or skeleton. But also what I was thinking today is that maybe that's not the best approach. Maybe this could be used as a way to fast position it. Like if you want to just adjust the geometry of the spine, for example, inside of the model. So if you have this here, we can watch through it. I could have a reference photo or something of how you should position this using a lattice or something like that, so that then you can see that the joints here they are positioned based on this uh, neck joints or the neck how do you call this, my God, the cervical spine. I'm sorry about that. Just got the word in my head. Okay, so Deepak is saying, are we done with the rigging on that process we're current? So yeah, I let me see if I understood the question. So the rigging is not done. We're still on the same process basically of making this RigBuilder work, but we're already starting to add some of the information in. So we're bringing in the spine, we're bringing in the model geo, so just the head geo for now, just so that we can see something happening, and then from that we're going to start to figure out other. So how are you going to deal with the template geo or the template skeleton? How are you going to deal with the process of setting placing the joints on the right place, and then because one thing is the base skeleton and where we're going to place it and where we're going to get the information for, say for example, eyelids. So where, like, what are the vertex on the eyelids that we're going to need, what is the center of the eyeballs. So say this model is we're already working on this particular model head geo here, but let's say we're moving to a different head geo, so we need a different set of data. So then we need tools to be able to generate that. So just place the skeleton or the joint skeleton based on some information. So either the user is going to be placing that joints manually, or the script is going to help the user by using the information on the meshes, on the template meshes, to place that geometry or to place the joints in the right in the initial place. And maybe that's a way to accelerate the process of placing these joints. So this is the pre-build, and then on the build we're going to have all of these joints being all of the systems being built based on the information that we got on the pre-build. So it's going to use the information on the neck template, say, or and then it's going to create this system, which is a system that I've created using a script that one of my scripts. So it's yeah, it's basically a neck joint system that is being controlled by one controller, and it has a ribbon to maintain the controller in place. Anyways, this is the further. Sorry, you're watching my face, not the actual action. Boom. So yeah, basically it's going to use the information on the pre-build to build all the systems and modules. So that's where we're heading, and I believe I've been speaking for too much time already. So let's keep moving, right? So first off, I'm going to export this information. I believe this is all one single thing. And then we have the skull, and then we have the jaw, and then we have what is this here? This is a slightly offsetted. Yeah, this is the stuff that we don't need. Just checking if everything is correct here. I'm just going to unparent this. I don't need to see this for now. So I need to have this sent into a file here so that we can evaluate that. So this would be sort of a template geo. And I believe it is remove selected objects. Cool. So this is well placed roughly on the school. So we can see that then we could use the information on this vertex. So if we can use request the user to use like a lattice, or even if we have this just as a reference inside of the scene, so that the user can uh, have a better idea of where to place the neck, because sometimes just placing it randomly inside of the neck, and it's good to have a visual reference there. So as I said, now then what I'm going to do is just name this torso bone geo. Not bone. Uh, 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 uh. Let me clean this names here. Let me see if it's going to allow me. So it's going to, and then I don't know if I like this bone thing. Yeah, you know what? Never mind. I'll just have it as is right now. I don't know if the naming right now is that important. So Deepak is asking again, cool, will we have access to the script? I think that it is going to be available on. So I'm still evaluating the how we're going to be going moving forward with this. So either we're going to have a final version of this that it's going to be available for download, or it's going to be a part of a more concise course. It's going to be available one way or another. I just have no idea where this is going right now, and how's it going to end. But we can check together all the information during all of the streams. Again, I'm working here and just trying to figure things out. It's still not even usable, but let's see how it turns out, and how we're going to make it available. Yes, okay, so this is that. So we're going to just export selection here, and I'm going to export this into the other project, and this is the test, and this is in the geo, and this is on the template geo, and this is going to be the skeleton template geo dot mb. So all of this naming, as I said, I don't expect this to really be the same. I just need to keep moving here, and as soon as we start to make sense of the project, we can then adjust what are the best naming for variables for the actual geometry, and if even if it's going to stay there, or if it's going to completely be removed, if it's useless. But at this moment I just feel like we need some traction here, so that for that I'm going to be so yeah, once the project's set, then the script already knows everything that it needs. uh, we're going to then just import template. uh, so there's import model geo. I also want then a import template geo. So I want before the model geo to be imported, I want the template geo to be imported. And as a matter of fact, I want the import geo to be pretty clear. This gotta be the model, and this gotta be the model as well. So I need to change the name here, otherwise it's not gonna find it. Right. And then now it's already working. I'm just going to add this import template geo here, and we should then have, of course I got to modify the function itself, but the functionality will be added into the RigBuilder. So it's going to be template here. So that's going to be importing that the skeleton geo that we just exported and added into the project. For that, then I need to change this to template. Let me see how is it being declared because I forgot. So it's geo template. Yeah, I should have like template geo here. I think this is too confusing. I don't know that it's being called anywhere right now, so I guess I can just change it. Because if I don't know exactly what we're talking about, it's going to be harder to recall it afterwards. So system as well, I'm just going to add a geo here because they are all, and this is actually the model geo. So this is an issue here, model geo. So the problem now is I need to check where is it being called and make sure that it's author-rated, otherwise it's not going to find it. So it's going to be model geo. And this is one of the issues with working with dictionaries is that sometimes it's just not going to, because if I change a variable, it's going to accuse that something is missing on the script, like where's this variable coming from. But if you change a key of a a dictionary, it just goes away. Nobody's going to tell until it crashes. It's just going to, when you run the script, it's going to have like a key error or something on the dictionary. So okay, so now we're importing the files. So you're going to see then the next thing is going to be to how to store, because we're importing the file. So we have the information about which file, so the name of the file that is being imported, but we don't have the information of what the file contains. And that's a problem that we need to be able to query this information so that it doesn't get more messy in the scene. So I'm going to then open the script again, and this import template geo should be added here. You can see that we have import template geo and import model geo, right? So it might be too small in your screen, but that's what we have here. The two have been added, and we have the project being checked. Let's see if it's not going to break and if it's going to import everything as it should. So, okay, so where's our model geo? Where's our skeleton geo though? So it didn't import the skeleton geo for some reason. Have I typed it wrong here? Template geo. That's correct. Import template geo. It's here. Import. Oh, it's because you see this is so I made a mistake here. It's importing two times the same thing. So then I need to call the import template geo here, which is this function here. So now if we run it, just load it back, you can see that you have both two times the same thing, right? So this way you know that it's being run two times. So now it's going to be here, import template geo, import model geo. If we run it, boom, we got both of them. Hey, nice. So yeah, as I said, it's just an interesting way to see some results in the scene. This way you know that something is happening instead of being working in this abstract word of ideas, and then one step at a time we're going to be building this. Another issue that I have here, and that I don't know if I'm going to change it fully, is you can see that the word zero is in the middle of the head. I don't know why I worked like this before in the previous rig that I was working, but ideally we would have this. Why do we have two? What's up with that? We have two head geos? Oh no. But this is locked. I don't know why this is locked, so I'm just gonna break the connections right now. Let's just unlock. So yeah, my whole family's in the house. So if you're listening to people passing by or people talking, it's just a Sunday in a family house. So here we go. Yeah, it's all good. So if we had the two things on the correct place, that I would assume that would be like, if you consider the height of a normal human being, it would be around something like this, right? So this is the place that we want to have our geo, and work on the modules on the correct place, so that we don't have like this crazy negative flipping information that is in word zero and word minus. Mathematically, I don't know that it makes a difference, but it's just not good practice. It's not how it works in any studio. Word zero is word zero, and it needs to be there for it is there for a reason, right? Now, what is the reason, you ask me? So, a quick analysis over why the zero word is important. Although if you're watching this, you're likely more than aware, but usually things are imported based on the zero position. So whatever you imported in the scene, if it's out of word zero, it's going to be out is going to be displaced on the scene that you're importing it. That's why it's important to have it on the correct word zero. And also, if you're working with different objects, then say you're putting it on the floor of a house or close to a bench, if you have it like the word zero in the middle of the hat, it's going to be imported in the wrong place and doesn't make any sense, right? Unless you are in a, I don't know, any psychedelic place. So yeah, thanks for the questions, guys. Yeah, and then so yeah, I'm just answering here the comments. How's it to read this thing? Is it any good to read it? I mean, it's not magical, I believe. It looks like I'm looking there. All right, so let's keep going. So I don't know if I'm gonna save this, but so we already have a folder here with like geo, geometry group, rig group, model group, module group. So on the geometry group, let's see, do I need this? So one way that I can bring the data in, I might have other ways of doing it, but as far as I was analyzing, let me just check if I have any other way of. Are we live on YouTube though? Yeah. All right. So maybe later. So what then I want to check is import Maya, import MB, Maya Python, of course. Python import MB list geo and the file or something like that. Uh, Well, honestly, I don't think there's a way. But what I can do, I believe, is I believe I can import it with a namespace. So my idea is that I'm going to import the geometry with a namespace, and then I'm going to query anything with that namespace. So then I'm going to know exactly what is coming from the file, and I'm going to list only the geometry files or the geometry nodes that are coming from this file. This way I can get only the geo, and then I can transfer that into a group, and from there we can go. So Deepak is asking, have you used PyML or do you prefer MySMDS? It's so regarding PyML, so the question from Deepak, this is actually a good question that I've struggled a lot with on why should I use a Python or CMDS instead of PyML. And every studio that I've been so far, PyML is completely rejected. It's very rare that you use it. It is a very heavy module that you need to import. So when you're starting anything, it's just so heavy. And I don't know if I see the advantage many times. I think that Maya API as an object-oriented language is efficient, but then PyML is just a wrapper on top of CMDS. They basically do the same thing, but they should make your life a little easier. But then it's not the standard. Not everybody is using, and then you might be creating more problems than you're solving. I don't think it makes it any easier. It's not the standard by any means, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people using. It's just that I don't see it being used in the studios. I see that it's kind of rejected inside of the studios, probably because of the speed and yeah. It's just you can do your own wrapper if you need. Hope it makes sense. So yeah, all right. Let me see if I can add a namespace here. Yeah, namespace. So namespace string. So I'm gonna be adding a namespace to that. It's all right. So the thing, this is a function that I'm executing over and over, and maybe I'll just have to have like a small import function here. Let me see if I should write something. So it would be import and return geo file. So this is not a class function or a method. This is a standard function because I want just to because you can see that we are executing the same thing here. Well, it's going to be different for each one. Maybe I don't know if it's worth it. Okay, so it could be that we could list some. So yeah, I'm thinking. As I said, I'm working live and just ideas are coming to my mind and I'm trying to figure out what to do here. So what we could do is have file and then node type, and that's what's going to be returning, not necessarily only geo. So we could have here like and return node type, and then what we could have is I have insert rest. Just gonna do this, and then we're gonna do like file. Oh, okay. This is not necessary because we have the variable file. So this is a very simple function. It's kind of questionable. So import. So this flag, I don't like using abbreviated flags, but this one here, the E for import, it's not on mc.files or cmds.file. I don't see there's no full name for like import equals true. It's only E. So it's just something that was built on the wrong. Pep 8 wouldn't like this flag because it's just it doesn't have a full name. And then we have like namespace, and that's going to, let me see if it's that. It's all a single thing. So Deepak here is saying something else. Let's go and check the comment. Uh, yeah, so Deepak is saying that explains. I started a job at Mr. X 2 months back and as a CFX artist, but I just went through the rigging library. They seems to use they seem to use PyML extensively. Yeah, I mean, I it depends on the. I've seen I believe at Zoic. I don't know if I can be talking about names like uh, studios specifically, but I know that Zoic used a little bit, and but not Scanline. I haven't seen it, and the people that I spoke, like the creature TVs there and the riggers that I asked about PyML, they said no, no, don't use it. So. Uh, I think it has a very good base. I've seen people kind of rewriting like a different type of PyML, but their own PyML, just a way to access like the basic things of Maya, such as transform or string. You have yeah. Honestly, I think it's a hard question. If the studio as a whole, is using Pinemail and everybody is good with that, I believe it's a usable thing. But I'm pretty sure. How was the speed on this applications? Sorry, did anyone complain about the speed of the scripts of the or the builds or the was speed something that usually came up? That's for you, Deepak. Now I am asking questions. So file import. So here the I'm just adding the namespace. So what I'm gonna have is like namespace equals file import. Oh, and then just to make it variable so that we can apply this to more than. Okay, so namespace. So the file, whatever came with the file, G, node type, nodes, or node list. So I don't like to use plurals because plurals are not specific. And on the naming of any variable, I like to be very specific. So if it's because nodes, it could be a dictionary of nodes, it could be a list of nodes, it could be I don't know type of collection of data. So if we're talking about a plural, I'm usually telling what it is. So instead of having node type, I'm actually being redundant here. Node type list. That's it. Uh, but yeah, that was just an explanation. So CMDS, LS, and there's going to be anything namespace with the type node type. Yeah, so Deepak is saying that he haven't talked to the guys yet about the speed. Yeah, it's interesting. If you have more information about that, please let me know. I'm always open. I mean, this is a view from the experience that I have regarding PyML, but maybe that's something that it's an opportunity that I'm missing as well. Maybe I could be using more PyML. Uh, but one thing that I've noticed many times is that if you try to open like whatever you're importing into the as a module into a script, it's going to take some time to load at least the first time. Then it's a little bit faster, but the execution they say it's a little bit slower. But I would need someone with a lot of experience in PyML to tell us. Maybe I'll try to find someone that uses it, and I'll ask them to come talk to me and sell me the product. So bring on a little music here. So yeah, I'm listing the node type and the node, and then this should be returned. It's just a simple function here, but I believe that I'm using this more than once. So instead of be like doing things like this, I'm just gonna have this in place. Okay, so yeah, now I'm thinking how to, because if we have multiple files inside of a folder, it's going to be importing all of the files, and each one of the files will have a different list. So let me think. Okay, let's try that. So import and return node type. And all right, so file, so it's going to be file. And the node type here in this case is mesh. I forgot the, what's the ls? So Maya, oh, let me search for it on the screen here. So it's Maya Python ls. So the ls method or function is the one of the largest. So the type, I always forget. My Maya Python list geo in the scene. It's going to point us to ls. Yeah, transform. Yeah, so the type is going to be transformed. That's fine. Doesn't seem like a big deal. So it's not mesh. Transform. All right, so I'm just going to put the variable here just to make it easier. So node type equals, and this is just the file, which we could actually call like file path instead of file. So because as I said, the the better the description, the less you're gonna have to think in the future, you know. So I'm just changing here. It already changed here. Say so Hutrude from Brazil. Hutrude 999. Hutrude 999 from Brazil, if I'm not mistaken. Abraço aí para meus amigos brasileiros. E here we go, continuing. Welcome back to the stream. All right, so then we have this being imported and then it needs to return. So I'm gonna call this file geo node. Oh man, that's, yeah, file geo list. That's fine. And then what I want to do is to parent this. So in this, since we know that all of these guys are are model geo, and we know that we created on this. Let me see here. We have a function here or a method that is called create rig groups, right? So we have all of these groups here. So then thinking, yeah, this is another thing that needs to change now. So you see, as we progress, what we're seeing is that we are, yeah, which is saying boa noite. So as we progress, you start to have to make it more variable and you start to refine a few things. So sometimes you're dealing with another function and then you figure that you need to improve some other area. And this is what's happening right now. We're working on the import models, and then I just came here to the setup rig groups, and I find out that we have a simple hard coded group list here. So this cannot proceed. We need to be defining this as a list somewhere so that we can add and remove this kind of group. So it's the list must be either on the init here, or we're gonna have to define it right on the setup regroups. Anyways, we have to figure out the way. And the structure, it's funny that it comes down to a similar structure to the data that's going to the rig builder, because it's the same tree hierarchy structure because if you start to think about, okay, I need to store this groups. I know we're gonna have these three groups, but they're gonna be parented to the root. So how am I going to store this information? How do they do I even need to that each group knows who is his parent and who are the children? Uh, I absolutely sure need to have this information available for us, uh, so that if I need to call it here, for example, import rig template, and also this, yeah, the rig groups, they are being imported or they are being created before, and the function here is after. So this is already a mistake, but it's a simple mistake because it's actually being executed on the right order. But it's just visually good to, for me at least, to have it on the same order. So get build manager. This is honestly, I don't even know if it's being used. Okay, so I'll just leave this here right now. And oh no, I'm with the comment camera. So you guys are not seeing anything. I'm sorry about that. You gotta always have one eye on the stream and one eye on the actual code. I guess it takes some practice, right? All right, so as I was saying, now it's being the groups are being created, but I need this information to be stored somewhere. So if I was, I don't even know. Yeah, I need to think quick because, like, what? It's going to be a dictionary. Let's start with a dictionary. So it's going to be the self, uh, group, uh, group hierarchy list or dictionary. And why would I have this as a dictionary? I don't know, because it's going to be super simple. I just need to, because the thing that I'm trying to figure out is like, okay, so I'm gonna have the group name. So we need a key, right? So the key would probably be root for the root group, but then the name of the group is actually root. So what's the difference? You know, I don't know if I should have a list, if it matters that it's but then I cannot recall that. The good thing about dictionaries is that you can recall the name by the key. And I not root geometry rig because I don't need, I also don't need the group naming, so I could just say geometry and then have like geometry. So this is the name of the actual group. This way I can change it more easily. And then, and also what I'm gonna do is just like do it like this, because then if I need to change this variable here, it's not gonna be affecting the number of indents that I need on this, guys. And geometry group, then it's going to be rig group, and then it's going to be rig group or grp, and then it's going to be then it's going to be module group. And so as I said, the only reason that we need this in place is that we can recall this information later on. And this, I don't know if this function should be inside of the rig. Yeah, I think it's related to the rig. Yeah, so Hutrid was saying good night. Here it's still, yeah, it's actually 8 o'clock. We still have a good bunch of light in the sky because it's the summer. The winter is terrible in this sense because we don't have much light. Right, so I'm just checking if this variable doesn't exist because it's not complaining that I'm creating the variable for the first time inside of a method. It should be complaining, but it's not. So I don't know. So for now, we have the groups that we need. And I don't know if I need to store the hierarchy data. I don't know. I'm just not gonna think about this right now. I'm just gonna keep moving. As I said, maybe I should declare this guy inside of the init. I don't know if I like this, but okay. So then now we have that information. Now I'm gonna start creating these groups. And I don't even know if I need to make it variable at this point because the names are going to be that. So what's going to happen is then we're going to be doing like self dot group hierarchy dict, and then we're just going to be adding the key here. And so we already have the name of the group. So not necessarily we need the variable. I don't know. Do we? I guess it's going to be less work for me if I do the variable. Yeah, let's just go with that. Go with that idea for now. So self dot group hierarchy dict geometry self dot group hierarchy dict rig self dot group hierarchy dict and then model, right? So it's not going to change anything right now, but the so in terms of like how it's building, but the difference now is that I can get into this other function here, and I can do like cmds.parent or mc.parent. That's why it's not recognizing. So mc.parent, and then we're gonna do file geolist. We're going to be parent to self.hierarchy group hierarchy dict, and then we're going to be parenting it to the geo, right? So we're basically importing that the data from the file, listing then all of the paths or all of the transform nodes that are inside of that using that small little function here. So let me add a comment here. Imports a file and returns all nodes of type. How useful is that? I don't know. Maybe we're gonna see that we don't need this. It's too small of a function, but it's just saving us some time and to doing this every time. It just eliminates confusion from the script of like looking at multiple times at the same thing. It's just better. It's just easier, right? We can actually do the same thing here. So we're gonna do the same thing to the template geo. And here on the hierarchy dict, we're going to say template. Right, so it's template. Oh, we don't have a template? What? Root geometry module geometry. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out here now if we do have geo group. I'm gonna have to create like a model group. So Huchu is saying, does this lit night thing has any influence in your productivity? I always wonder. So let me come bring in the comments. Does this light? I'm assuming you're saying light night thing. has any influence in your productivity. I always wondered if I could adapt to other kinds of night, day night cycles. Man, I don't think you realize how much of an impact it has in your life until you actually fall into that. It's a dramatic change. Well, I think that one thing that the most important thing that you need to figure out is like the vitamins thing. But when you get to the winter the first time, man, your energy levels just drop like a rock. You have no idea, and then you have to basically take like Centrum and vitamin D and to keep yourself like moving. But it's very dramatic. I said that it's like living in Vancouver after being coming from Brazil, which is warm all the time. What I always say is that the cold doesn't bother me at all. I don't mind being in the cold, but the night hours, like the day ending at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's just, man, it's harsh. But you get used to it also, and you're kind of more productive in this time because the day just ends. But it does feel like it's a very short like period of time that you have the day. So, but the winter, on the summer though, you have night daylight until 10 o'clock sometimes. So that's a good thing. All right. So continuing here, I'm gonna create this two other folders here. So there's root, there's geometry, and I'm gonna say, yeah, no worries, Richard. My pleasure. So it's I'm gonna say model geometry. He just wants it's complaining because he wants a comma here. It's going to be model geo group, and then it's going to be the template group as well. Then that's going to be template geo group. And all right, so we do have the two other groups here, and now we need to create them as well. So to be model geo group, that's going to be the same thing here, except it's going to be the model geometry, and then it's going to be template geo group, and then it's going to be the same thing except it's going to be the template. And then we're going to already parent these two guys here to the regroup. So I'm c.parent. Then it's going to be template geo group. It's going to be model geo group, and it's going to be parented to the geo group. And yeah, this is, you see, this is like very straightforward hard coding. We just have the name of the groups that are being stored into this dictionary, but at least on the root on the group creation system, I'm not going like any crazier than just listing it and having it inside. Hey, what's up? How are you doing so far? I know. Coding is this thing. It's like it's you're almost like dragging it a little bit. It's hard, but let's keep going. There's still a lot to go ahead. This rig builder is just getting started. It's just actually it's an infinite project. As long as you want to work on it, it's never going to stop. And I feel like this is not even the there's still the Unreal side of things. If you think about it, maybe it's going to be rendered out, maybe it's going to be real time. So there's all these differences that we're going to be testing. And if you're going through this with me, I'm happy to have you around. So let's go. All right. So on this side here, I believe it's all correct. So this is going to be to the template, and this is going to be to the geo. Group hierarchy. Yeah, so this is incorrect, I guess. Yeah, so now I have the correct naming. So this is like template geometry, and this is the model geometry. All right. I think we're getting to the point where we can test this. So what should happen then? What we just did, we now should be able to import the. Oh, I didn't delete the namespace, so I do need to find out how to delete the namespace. So I'm going to check this. This names Maya Python delete namespace. Let's see how it works. I think it's the namespace command. Let me just check this. Add namespace, move parent, remove namespace. Seems to be pretty straightforward. I'm just trying to find where any application of the remove namespace, which I think is this one. It's RM, right? Yeah, remove namespace. So it's just remove namespace with the namespace that you want to remove. And that's what we need to do here in our, because we're going to be listing these nodes. Right, so we need to also remove this from the names in the list. Node type list. There you go. Okay, okay. I think I have an idea here. I need to remove the namespace from this name. So namespace. I'm just gonna put like this right now. Let's see if I have another idea. And then it's going to be node type. Node type list without the. So I'm just gonna create a list comprehension here, and then I'm gonna say. So it's going to be node dot replace, and it's going to be the namespace. We're going to substitute then the namespace for nothing. I'm just going to remove it for node in. Oi, amor. Oh yeah. For node and node type list namespace, bro. Nice. Okay, so this should be the list without the namespace. Okay, so all right, so yeah, this list here then should contain the names of the nodes without the namespace, and also we then need to remove them from, so mc dot namespace, and then it should be able to do remove what is it? Remove namespace. Pretty straightforward. So how's it going? So many emotions here, right? I know. We need more visual effects here, like things popping up, fireworks. I'll get a bunch of animations and just pop some fireworks on the screen. And then so the namespace, it's going to be namespace. It's going to be our variable namespace, right? All right, so we remove the namespace, and that should give us the clean node list, and that should then be able to. So what we're expecting is we're going to run the script, and all of this geometry is going to be imported and placed on the respective rig group that it's creating. Also, new rig groups are going to be inserted here inside of the geometry group, for example. And let's see how it works. So yeah, wow. Pa, 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 pa. Pa, 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 pa. Small success. Running a function and not crashing. How great. So is it inside here though? No, it's just not imported at all. So not a success. Oh no, no, I take it back. I take it back. Okay, so let's take back the fireworks and the sound effects. We had a crash. So what happened then? The namespace I mistyped it. See, it's always something stupid like this. Namespace. There's no namespace. Namespace. Okay, cool. So let's try it again. Let's see if it goes now. Nice. We got one. The other one crashed. Why? Namespace, no type. CMDS is not defined. See, man, it's always something silly. It's just MC. Okay, but we're closer. Oh, it crashed again. File import is not empty. I know it's not empty. Is it the namespace? Yeah, namespace, remove namespace. File import is not empty. I know, I don't want to delete the namespace. Move namespace, force. Used with move namespace to force move operation ignore naming clashes. Okay, so I need to find a way to remove this namespace. Okay, so it's not that straightforward, it seems. Namespace for namespace. Okay, so it's this kind of silly thing that takes some time and it gives us no information meanwhile. So we're searching for how to remove the namespace because now it's complaining that it has stuff in it. And I don't care if there's stuff in the namespace. I need it removed. So what we can do though is just we have the namespace here. I'll just open the namespace editor and remove my manually. So just to check what is it like going to be returning, right? So delete merge with root. Oh, how wonderful! It doesn't return anything. It doesn't print anything. So it's silly, silly function. Why is it not going to allow me to move forward? Because of one simple thing. It's always like that. Exists. Is it the force? I'll try to force. Let's force it. Hey, Phoenix Studios is arriving in the house. So now Phoenix Studios, we have our comment box. So you type stuff, and I can you can talk directly here. Pew, 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 pew. Doing pretty good, by the way. I'm just gonna try to force it. Let's see if it's going to change anything. Now it's crashing. File import is not empty. I know it's not empty. Remove. It cannot be that complicated. Oh man, not gonna make me. I mean, is that it? Is that not possible that I should just like delete this? Oh, bro. Okay. It's just a name, right? Never mind the namespace. So I see. Okay. I will have to create a for loop here just for that. Unbelievable. So for or node and node type, just gonna go and say rename. No. So the rename. It's kind of silly, but it's fine. Okay. So node node rename and zip name or node type list. I don't know. It's super silly, right? Rename node node rename. So that should be it, I guess. I mean, we're taking everything out of the namespace, but it is cleaning. But it's still saying that file import is not. But it is taking the nodes out of the namespace, but it's saying that the node is or the namespace is not empty, which is fine for me. But I don't know why is it. So let's go. Why? Someone has to have the answer. Namespace and list namespaces. Delete a node. Remove namespace test. Set namespace. Remove namespace. All right, guys. It's a simple problem. We have to get through this, but it's just like that, right? We gotta every. That are the silly problems that just hold you for like half an hour unnecessarily. But that's how it goes. Unfortunately, this is live development. We have namespace remove here. Yeah, here this guy's having he's prompting the user if there's a runtime error. But I want to how to add our plugin to Maya. Man, this is a question that it's a bit tricky. You're gonna have to. I suggest you search for it on YouTube. It's just ask the same question because it's going to require a few steps. And if I stop right now to check this, also our friend here, Phoenix Studios, is asking how to add our plugin to Maya. So I might when I don't know, maybe if I make this thing available and I'm going to create tutorials on how to do this. But yeah, bear with me here. Help me on this development. I have very short or very small gaps of time that I can work on it. So I just gotta get through this. But I'm pretty sure I trust you, man. I have faith on you. You're gonna find it. All right. So I'm just continuing. Oh, here we go. Merge random spaces with root. This guy got me the answer. So have I not seen this? Yeah, this is not on the list here though. Let's see if this is a reality. I have never seen that. Oh, but it's Pymel though. Oh man. Okay, maybe it will work. I don't know. I have never seen this flag before. I'm very skeptical that this flag is gonna work, but let's test it. Oh, it did work. Wow. Yes. All right. So now we got it. Like, beep, 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 beep. All right. So finally, model. Look, you see, we got the list perfectly, and we were able to separate the items into its correct folders. So this is progress. It's a small progress, but it is building already and importing the geo into the proper space that it needs to be. Right, so template geos it's in the template group, and the model geos in the model group. So this is already something, right? So we have this here: import template or import model geo, import template geo, and now we can start to move into the next steps. Maybe adjust this geo to the correct position. And also, I don't know why this is being exported like this, like with all the. Let me unlock this selection and then just save this again. So just like export selection, and then we're going to be exporting this into the assets geo model, and with the same name this way it's just going to be replacing our hold on. So let me just unparent it, because what's going to happen is going to import with the parent group, and we don't want that. I just want the geo itself. So this is going to be the guy. It's going to ask if it's going to replace. We're going to replace it, and it should be saved. And see if we run this again, if it's going to be unlocked. And it is. Look at that. Nice. So it's working. All right. So you guys saw, right? So it's oh, so now this guy's locked. Oh, I just didn't select it. Yeah. Okay. So you guys are seeing then. So if we position this somewhere else, just for the sake of seeing the change, uh, and yeah, we'll delete these two groups just to see that it's really creating a new scene and recreating these actions, right? See, so it's a new scene and it's importing this geo and this template geo and the head geo, and it is organizing it for us. Right, next. We have 1 hour and 20 minutes going on already. And yeah, I think we kind of got some stuff going on here. Now, what's the next? What's next? So TZ NOBs is asking on Twitch. Let me see. Twitch. There's a Twitch viewer here. It's Twitch is so new. I didn't even know. Oh, so it's we got the first spam from Twitch. Let's see. Want to become famous? Buy followers, primes, and viewers on Yeah, so just checking out this link. I guess I'm not gonna click it. Thank you. Appreciate your visit. All right, so you saw that the flag that we actually added here to fix that problem wasn't even something that existed on the documentation. So these are some of the things that the internet helps you with. All right, so create new scene, create import template. So another thing that I would like to create is also a skeleton file that is going to be then imported and driven by our. Uh, so the script is going to build the system to drive this base skeleton. So I guess this is where we start actually copying skeleton information or skeleton joints into our rig and make it start importing and making sense out of it. It's very simple. It's one step after the other, and this is something that I think I'm going to do it right now so that we get these two things over with, and we can move on into doing some actual system building. So I'm just going to open my file, my development file, which has like just manually built parts of the rig. All right, so I'm gonna open the rig group here. Yeah, so we have these joints that they're not even connected, but there's something. I guess they're the beginning. Yeah, this is just scattered joints all over the place. This doesn't make much sense, to be honest. So this group here, yeah, I guess I can just export all of these joints here. Yeah, I'm just going to export all the joints and then start working on them inside of the scene. Okay, so yeah, I'm thinking as I go and I'm trying to move as fast as possible. So yes, I just need to figure out which ones I'm going to be duplicating. Okay, so the rig template is this one. And I could kind of, I don't know, maybe duplicate this and just bring it down. I don't know that I need this brown ones here. I don't know, this seems a little bit too much for now. And those, I don't know what those are for. So I don't need this. I don't need this. I'm gonna use these ones here, although they're not quite well distributed. I mean, they're kind of weirdly distributed. I don't know if I need that. I don't know where this joints here are. So I guess I'm just deleting them. I'm just gonna delete it. So basically I just need the C joints here. And then I'm gonna get this, so the chin joint, the gastric, and then this guy's, and where's this guy here? Okay, so I want this two, and I also want this one. And I'm going to duplicate them, unparent. And then I'm going to look at what we have here. So yeah, I mean, this is a place to start. We have the base of the neck here, and we have a few indicators. I need a joint in the ear, but it's weird because I have the sensation that I've worked on this before. I don't know. I don't think that. Yeah, I do have the ear joints here, as you can see. Look, I don't know why they're not parented, but they're good enough positions for us to get started with, like the center of the eye, the center of the ear, the center of our chin there. This is all template positions. Like I don't know, probably something that I was using to literally capture these positions. So this is a good rigs or a joint set for us to bring into the scene. Just going to duplicate this, and yeah, just going to be here. So as I said, I'm just getting the information that I already have here. This is information that I was using to get the build position for the our surface there. Oh, this is an interesting one as well. This is the orbicularis oris positions, but I don't think I'm going to be using this for now. Eyebrows, this is interesting, not using right now. Head, it's okay. Yeah, the starting of the, yeah, this is actually a good thing. I don't know. Yeah, it makes sense to me. No, so what I'm thinking is because previously what I did is I created an entire UI just to store the position of the vertex and bring me back. But it's just so much easier to, have a file with the joints inside of it that you can have specific naming uh, for, query the information from existing things. It might be a little abstract right now, but I don't know if it makes sense. I hope it makes sense. Phoenix Studios is saying on which websites you're watching code. So I don't know if you're asking about tutorials, Phoenix Studios. So what you can do is go to this guy is very good with code. Because I believe it's Chris Zubrik. Search for it, and on Google, I believe it's I believe I misspelled it, but you can check it. And the other one, I'll check the other one that I've heard recently that it's pretty cool as well. The light is going down a little bit. Let me adjust my light setting here because we're getting a little bit too dark. And let me just get my gain up here. Oh, so we're gonna leave it a little low so that the light's going to come a little bit lower. All right. So this Chris Zubrig is one of the best and most affordable courses on the internet for coding. Highly recommended. All right, so we have sort of a set of joints here going on already that can be used as a template, or I mean, at least to get started and start building this idea of a template. So the next system has its own joints here. And this is information for the surface again. So I guess we've seen everything here. And now we have all the joints outside already and ready to export. Let's try that. So I'll just export selection and I'll send this into our RigBuilder folder, and that's going to be on assets as well. Also, see, this is something that it's not a geometry, but it's also an asset. So this is something that's not being considered. This is a rig it should be like a rig template. So it should be inside of our rig folder, but it's also an asset. Let's say that we're going to add like a rig folder here with a rig template folder. So there is a rig group. Also, we're going to have like a rig template. So rig template. So I'm just thinking now where I'm going to store this information, right? So rig template, what is it, group? Yes, it is. So we're then going to create this folder and add it onto the rig group. So it's going to be the rig template. And then we're going to add this as the as the child, right? So the rig template group going to rig template or rig group. Yeah. So this is going there, and it should be system. I don't know. Let me think about it. Maybe I'll change this in the future, but right now it's just gonna be like this. What I need then is like inside, like a folder inside of that folder. So here are our folders, and then there's a system geo, but this is not what I need. I need like should be on data, but so we have the assets folder. Then inside of the assets we have the. I'm just going to create a new folder inside of the assets. That could be wrong. So rig assets, and then so this folder is then going to be created. Do I need the root here? I don't know. Probably not. Then I'm going to do rig template. And how have I set? Okay, so rig, or just template inside of rig. All right. So we are then creating the rig template. And maybe we should have like a system. I don't know. Maybe. Why not? Right? Rig system. All right. So I don't know if we're gonna need both like a template and a system, but let's go with that, right? So right now we have the folder, and now it is not created yet. So best thing that I can do right now is to let me see, maybe just for us not to lose this information, I'm going to export selection and create this folder manually, but I shouldn't. I mean, it doesn't mean that the system could do it by itself, but if I change projects right now, I'm gonna lose this, or will I? I don't. Yeah, I will not, but it's fine. I'm just gonna create it manually here. It's going to be a rig, and then I'm gonna do template, and the other folder is going to be created by the system itself. All right. So I have nothing selected. What happened? Okay, so assets. Oh, okay. So template. Why? Oh, I have to type the name of the file. It's going to be skeleton template dot mb. That's what it is. Skeleton template or head skeleton or yeah, face. It's not face skeleton. So again, this is files that I'm going to change the naming later on. I'm just doing like a first version here. And now we have that in place. So I also need to make sure this is being imported into the scene, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to import this into the scene, and then we're going to make modifications to it, set up the structure nice and so parent is joints, make sure everything is what we expect it to, and then we're going to export it again with the proper naming and everything in its correct place. So Phoenix Studio is saying again, is saying something here. It's saying Ziva is the best for simulations or Houdini. It's a question actually. Ziva is best for simulation or Houdini. So I'd say it depends, right? Because if you're working with Maya and you need a dynamic solution, sorry, let me get here. So if you're working with Maya and you need a dynamic solution to run inside of Maya, so that you can do the things inside of your own rig, probably Ziva. If you need to do something that it's a simulation after, so for example, cloth simulation, where you can bake the animation inside of Maya and then go back to Houdini and do the simulation there, then you're probably better off with Houdini. But both of them are excellent, and Ziva it's a tool to have on a tool belt, 100%. It's growing a lot. They're investing in technology. I have a few friends that are moving there to work, so it's something to have in mind for consideration. All right. So let's import that. So import template, import rig template. Let me see if this is being added as a register. So import rig template, import rig template, and right. So Phoenix Studio is asking which version of Maya am I using? I'm using, I believe, the 2019, and yes. All right, so we are then parenting this. Right, so Phoenix Studio is asking if Ziva industry standard plug, if it is a industry standard plugin. I've seen it being used in a few studios. Not like, I believe that muscle simulation is a thing that, or it's a plugin or a, how can you say it? Yeah, it's a tool that every studio wants to kind of have its own, like having something that works for them, because you can make it cheaper for clients uh, if you have an in-house solution for that. But also it's just hard to keep up with development for a full a deep topic like this, muscle simulation, for the studio to keep up with a development like this, as the standards of the industry keep growing. It's very hard. Digital Domain has a pretty interesting system that they're working on, and they are very good in the development of it. So let's see how it goes. I mean, I hope that they can keep pushing. Okay, so the import template is here. I'm just going to do a similar thing. So this is going to be very similar. So what's going to happen then is instead of template geo, I'm going to have template rig template here. So this is the project directory, and it's going to import anything that is MB inside of it. And give it a space here. So this is also a function that is being equal in all of them. So I could have theoretically have a smaller function just for this, just passing in what is it that we want, the rig template. So let's see if we have this correctly added here. Rig template is here. Yeah, let's start with this and then we keep moving. Okay, so we're listing the files, then we're listing the transform nodes, and then everything should be transferred into the regroup. Let's see if it works. So we're gonna have to set the project again. Oh, so this is the one. All right, so now we can open the script. It's going to prompt us if it wants to create one of the folders that we didn't add manually. Yes, it's going to the rig system folder. I'm going to create it. Let's see if it's going to import everything. Yeah, nice. Do you have the joints? Boom, look at that. Nice. All right, so this is what we wanted. So we saved that folder. And now we have a rig group or and then we have the rig template. So it imported some of the constraints as well. We don't necessarily need those things. Right now, I don't need any of these things here. I'm just going to delete it. And I'm going to keep the joints only. I'm going to unparent this and I'm going to export selection once again. This time with the cleaned up thing. Or cleaned up. Still not clean, still not correct. So I'm just going to replace it. And now we should be able to, well, but why is it detecting something that it's already created though? No. Okay, it's clean. You can see that there's none of that constraints or anything like that. That's a good thing. So we have the joints in place here. So now we can do the same thing. You see, so this is the good thing about the rig builder. Now I can work on these joints, parent them the way I want, and then re-export it, and it's going to be imported back again with the exact same settings that we had. So for this here, I may or may not parent it the way I want. I don't know. I'm not sure. But maybe I will just save a second like a backup version. Yeah, I'm gonna pass this into a backup folder and going to modify this because what I want is to have this sort of like this, right? All parented one to the other. So I have tools to do this parenting thing. Like like this is very manual work right now. This is not something that I would be doing manually, but so this is the C1. Let's see relating to the Yes, this is just saying where the C one is, but the actual root of the head is here. So I'm gonna have to add this one. And then I'm assuming this one is also a parent of this one. And then I'm assuming that these guys here are a parent of this one and this one. And then we have the two eye eye centers. And then we have something like a jaw center here. And then the jaw tip here. And yeah, so now we have this thing here. So this is like a basic, very rough basic skeleton, right? So, and this is the root of the skeleton. So we can proceed on evaluating how we can, finish the rig of the remaining of the body, and how am I going to deal with this? Like, am I just going to have it all the way to this end of C, the cervical spine, which is this, the last C7 cervical spine joint, and then we have the thoracical. So I have to figure out where am I going to stop this, and also if I'm going to have any indication of a clavicle joint being added here. So Deepak is asking on YouTube, uh, what is the window that popped up like a channel box saying for precise transformation? Uh, what is the what is that window that popped up like a channel box? I'm not sure what you're talking about. If you'll see it again, let me know. I'm not sure if I know what you're talking about. Uh, Precise information. I'm not sure, Deepak. Sorry about that, man. Right. So what I want to do now is just save this. I mean, this change your chin. Let me see what is. Yeah. So this digastric here, I'm gonna need that. What's the chin? The chin, I have one already. The jaw and I mean, what's the difference between the chin and jaw end here? Nothing, right? It's the same thing. So I'm just gonna. Oi, meu amor! Vem cá dar um oizinho, vem? Babies in the house. Delícia! Ó, dá aí pro pessoal. Oi, gente, olha a Mia! Hello! My name is Mia. Mia, yes. Mia. Very well. E aí, você tá se divertindo com a mamãe? Tá? Já tomou um banho? Você tá linda. Dá um abraço aqui, tá? Ai, te amo. Beleza. Eu já vou terminar, tá bom? É, já vou parar aqui. Você tá ajudando a mamãe? Legal. All right, baby. My little baby. All right. So let's then see if any other. So this one's the digestive we need, the jaw we don't need. This joint here, I don't even know what it's about. This is also something that I don't need right now. I can always come back and get this. Oi, amor. Oi. Ah, chá? Dá chazinho. Very nice. All right, so just this digestive joint here, that's what I need. And yeah, let's export this again. So export selection, and I'm going to create a new folder here. Oi, oi, amor. E aí? Eu vou terminar aqui, ó. Me dá mais alguns minutinhos, daí eu vou terminar, tá bom? Aí eu vou brincar com você. Dá mais, dá mais. Tá bom, obrigado. All right, so she wants to play. I guess I'm gonna. This is my call to end this with almost 2 hours of stream right now. So okay, let's go back up, and then let's see if I can move this into this. Yes, I can. and then I can add this into this one here. And then we should be able to just run this again. And yeah. Oh, although it's not exporting the hierarchy. Why is that? Oh boy, I'm gonna have to redo the hierarchy again. Okay, I don't know why is it not. Am I not? Oh, I think I've unparented them, right? I don't know what I've done. But anyways, you got the point. We have made some progress. Baby's requesting my attention here. Vem cá dar um oizinho. Vem, amor. Vem. All right, so baby is requesting the attention. So just recapping what vou falar com eles, tá bom, amor? Vou falar aqui, a gente já vai sair. So just recapping what we did today, we're able to bring the template geometry. Now bringing the template joints or the skeleton, certo? And then with the skeleton in place, now we're being able to make the script imported, and then we can make the adjustments and export it back again, and then it's going to be imported always. So this way, the next step, we can get the information from this skeleton, such as positions, and or reorient them, reorient them, and have it ready to be controlled by other systems that are going to come in place soon. Na verdade? É? All right, so that's probably it for today. As I said, baby is requesting some attentions. Thanks for everyone that participated here, and we're gonna see each other soon on the next in the next stream or development session. Fala bye bye. Bye bye, people. Thanks for stopping by. Yay!